Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gem in the Crypto episode 222. Today is Tuesday, August 7th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
John Siebert, what's up? Milto, good morning. Alpha Robbins, shout out. Alpha Robbins said he's watching Startup on Crackle. I must say this drama crime cryptocurrency series is legit. Never seen it, but I'm about to save it. I saw one. I saw Crackle once with 50 Cent. He has a show in there too. I think Crackle is actually free right now. I'm not giving it a plug, but I think it's a free internet thing. You just got to sign up for it.
Yeah, I think I've used it once for Doug Stanhope stand-up.
Yeah,
back in the day. But yeah,
once people find out about it, they're going to start charging that $8 a month.
Yeah. Biggest streaming site.
Till then.
Yeah, they're taking over, but yeah, it's all good.
Marcella's Love, good morning. Good morning. Say made on time day. So did we. Fed the realtor. That's right. Let's do it. Alpha Robbins. Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, he said it is free. Good stuff. All right, so good morning, everybody. For the start off free Satoshis yesterday. Who won?
All right, so for our free Satoshis, shout out to Bergtown Music Group for their comment based on our question, which said, would you use cryptocurrency for Starbucks? Do you hate, Starbucks? Would you not use it if you have to convert it to fiat before? And their comment was great. Said they don't really mess with Starbucks, but when ICE basically came out and said that they'll have their app backed, that it would be good to use for other things. However, Starbucks probably wouldn't be one of them. So I kind of share that sentiment. I'm not big on Starbucks or whatever, but it's good to see that there is a platform where you can convert it to crypto to fiat. So I'm sure people will use backed. I'm sure they'll have a good marketing team behind it in order to get it going.
All right, well, thank you for that comment. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hop into the news. We got a lot of stories today. As we say, the price when it's not pumping, that's when the news story finally comes out.
I know.
And we have some good ones today. First up, top story: United States DEA says that criminal activity in cryptocurrency has dropped 80% since 2013.
Yeah, don't say.
What? I mean, just the title alone. What's crazy right now in the space is that interagencies not coordinating together. We talked about this before. Like you have the NFA, the Futures Association. They're not talking to the SEC, who's not talking to the CF, or they're talking to CFTC now. But it's literally like 3 or 4 agencies that's not coordinating. They don't know what to call it. They don't know what it is, how to tax it. Then you have the
global
regulators. Right? You got regulators coming out saying false statements, which honestly, we need to charge these regulators with market manipulation at this point because they keep calling it criminal themselves as regulators, as people that constituents look up to. They're calling it it's for criminal activity, isn't real, it's a scam. And then you have the DEA comes out with their report saying actually it's down 80%. Criminal activity is down 80% since 2013.
Absolutely.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm interested to see is what they regard as criminal activity.
That's true too.
Because
that could be anything.
Simply just selling Bitcoin for some people, that's regard as criminal. And that early on it wasn't really looked at. Nobody cared about Bitcoin. Nobody cared about crypto. They thought it was a joke, a game. They didn't really look into it, and then later on you started seeing more and more interest as the price went up. So it is good to see that people who have this thought process that Bitcoin is for criminals, you use it for drug deals or whatever, we have plenty of evidence to state the opposite. Less than 1% of all illicit crime is for crypto, and it's decreased over time because, like the guy actually states, he says, the blockchain actually gives us a lot of tools to be able to identify people. I actually want them to keep using cryptocurrencies,
right?
Because, like we've stated before, the blockchain, if you don't take the precautions to make yourself private, most of it is not private. It just isn't. You can do a background on the blockchain, which IP address it came from, and you can find out whatever transactions go on. So that whole message has been debunked. So if anybody tries to tell you,
for now on, it's market manipulation.
We need
to start charging, especially when it comes, if it's JP Morgan, Dino Diamond, where we know his game, they're in it for money, it's business. But if you're a regulator now calling it criminal, and you're getting these reports across your desk that's saying the opposite, that's market manipulation. You definitely don't need to be in office. I mean, you're lying to the public. Shout out to...
maybe they do need to be in office because they've been lying to the public about a lot of stuff. And that's the job. That's the job.
That is the job. Shout out to Vivian Samuels. Said, hey, gentlemen, finally caught you live. Welcome to our live show. So you get shout outs when you come live.
People. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
What's also interesting about this story is this cyber investigative task force is a 10-person cyber investigative task force.
10 people.
10 people to try to figure out what's going on in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency from our government, who is way behind.
Yep.
Again, shout out, because, hey, they came up with this great report, so I'm not going to say you guys aren't doing anything. And I know you need more resources and help, so shout out to that too. But come on, you got 10 people leading a cyber investigative task force.
Yep.
Does that not say where we are when it comes to cybersecurity as a country? Like, you literally need 1,000 people on this task force, like at a minimum. They have 10 people. Unless these are 10 geniuses and one of them name is Satoshi Nakamoto, then I don't understand how they're getting any work done.
I think a couple of them might be artificial intelligence.
Right.
Have to be. But you can also see that with this small task force, you see what they're doing. They're going after big fish, people who are moving millions and billions of dollars in Bitcoin.
They have to.
So if you are one of those people with your little $100 in Bitcoin, $50,
keep asking about tax questions every year.
What should I do with it? Stop worrying. It's not even enough people to track everything. And on top of that, you're one of these small fish who are keeping the community going while not, sending it back and forth for drugs or illicit stuff. You're not doing anything illegal. Like we said, stop worrying about it, people.
Right. Good stuff. On the back of this story now, another United States story. Chair of House I can't say that right now. Judiciary Committee discloses ownership of cryptocurrency. That is like some words. So I'm gonna do that one time.
Yeah.
One more time. The United States Chair of House Judiciary Committee discloses ownership of cryptocurrency. It looks like the Judiciary, I'm not gonna say that anymore, Chair Bob Goodlatte, Republican from Virginia, reported, and this is crazy because these, the highs and lows is, he reported that he owns between $17,000 and $80,000 in digital currency in his annual. Which one is it? Because that's a big difference.
That's a huge gap, my brother.
What, 17,000 to 80,000? And that's what you're reporting.
Yeah.
We know you all wouldn't tell a lie. But again, it's one of those things where, he had to do that because the whole ethics committee is coming out there saying people in Congress have to disclose this stuff. Again, they are telling you what you can and cannot do with cryptocurrency, and they're going about it their own way.
They own it. That's what I've been trying to tell people that for years, that I've had enough discussions with high-level people who have told me over and over that the same people who are regulating it are quietly accumulating as much Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as they can. This is just another example.
But
I'm sure
even bigger. Even bigger. This is the big thing. And, who wrote this story? It was Anna Alexandria. Great write-up, but I will say what I'm about to say next, I think should have been the headline of the story, and that's Goodlatte's, I don't know his name, Goodlatte, there we go. No. Goodlatte's son, Bobby Goodlatte Jr., is reportedly an angel investor in San Francisco-based crypto exchange Coinbase. However, it's unclear when and how much he invested in the company. For one, it doesn't matter. Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
For one, to invest in Coinbase as an angel investor, you already had to put up a top amount of money. Trust me, you can't. They're not taking mom and pops off the street. Hey, I got $3,000. Can I come in with you? No, they've been doing good since they started, people, because they've been in this space since like almost the beginning. So he definitely put up some real money. And the second question is, was it his son that's an angel investor, or was it his dad that's an angel investor that's using his son
as the?
I wonder how Coinbase all of a sudden is the #1 exchange in America, has a political action committee, has no competition now because we're making regulations that discourages competition to places like Coinbase, exchanges like Coinbase, and why they are literally in the news every day. They're the only exchange in the news every day. And come to find out, the chairman of this committee, because I said I'm not going to say that word again, the chairman of this committee's son is an angel investor. Conflict of interest, anyone?
Yeah. I mean, we've said over and over that some of these people who are on the boards are, the CFTC guy, for example, Giancarlo. He even stated his daughter had Bitcoin, which is how he figured out, oh, this is something younger people are using. This is what we should try to advance technologically and not hold back from innovation. And I would not be surprised if almost all of the congressmen and congresswomen have a nephew or a son or somebody. And
they probably own exchange right now. They probably own Coinbase.
Yeah, exactly.
What if all of Congress, House of Representatives, and Senate owns like 40% of
Coinbase? Through subsidiaries that they don't speak about. But I keep telling you, we'll put this in almost every show. Stop being afraid. These people have to. They can't regulate their own family and their own family members and themselves to a point where it's going to become illegal. This is not going away at all. And the people who hold the reins as far as regulation, They agree with us. They like Bitcoin. They understand the gains that have been made from it.
Everybody playing the business game right now. Which the only problem though is if you're a regulator, that's illegal.
It's illegal.
It's against they're the criminals and they're breaking the law. I mean, he has ownership in Coinbase. People, do you not understand the conflict of interest of them not having competition right now because of regulatory rules that are backed by the police, the National Guard, and the military? Because if it wasn't for those three things, no one would care. But because of those three things, everyone cares. Crypto Q, shout out. I mean, this should be the name. It's going to be called the Coinbase Collusion. He said it's not a crime. That's actually a really good name for like the Watergate and all scandals. It's called the Coinbase Collusion. Yeah. I want to know everybody in government who has a stake in Coinbase.
And I want to know everybody who knew about Bcash before it came out.
Oh my goodness.
Because some of those people,
those same regulators,
they have Bcash they probably don't even know about. That may be in a custodial account on Coinbase somewhere. You know, it's on some account.
And that's what's even crazier is that, all right, so now you're an angel investor. You're right. Like, what did you all know about the whole Bcash fiasco? If you're an angel investor, you are privy to that information.
Knew that, yeah.
You knew that was coming. Hey, Dad, chairman of the committee, you might want to tell your regulator buddies and friends and everybody else in government, this new thing called Bitcoin Cash coming out. We're going to put it on the site, even though we shouldn't because we haven't even implemented SegWit. But
exactly.
We're going to put this on the site. Trust me. Just dump it all at the same time.
Wait for the signal from Diamond.
Right.
And then buy as much as you can.
Torrance J playlist said he also has a Binance account, LL. And that's important.
They love crypto.
It's important what you just said. Wait for the signal from Diamond, because you know what? It would not surprise me. Look, Coinbase collusion. Crypto Q coined it. This is many things he's coined here. This might actually be a real thing. People, it's not a conspiracy theory. We have seen how all this stuff is connected. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jamie Dimon was talking to the same good Lade, regulator, and is like, hey, I'll push it down. Don't worry.
Yeah.
As soon as I do, make sure you sell my stuff too. We're all good.
We're all good.
And then we'll keep doing it.
And Jamal J says, do you think there will ever be some sort of retroactive investigation? I doubt it, simply because Roger Ver came on TV and said, yeah, insider trading is a thing.
And nobody even commented on it.
Nobody did anything. Nobody said anything.
They really didn't even go into detail. They was like,
they just
it was like, all right, Roger, come on.
Exactly. 12-hour news cycle.
We said you're in the club, Roger, all right? Like, what are you doing to us right now? I thought you were with us. You're going crazy right now.
Nothing has happened. So
right. So
I doubt it long term.
The only way I see it happening is if literally we have someone from the ecosystem or the community, or maybe even not from the community, but someone who is like, hey, I can care less about crypto, but these are the rules of the law that I abide by, and everyone's going to go by it. If we get somebody like that, or we get somebody from the community that gets in a position of power, then I think there will be this retroactive investigation. If I ever get in office, it'll be 30 years from now. It'll be a retroactive investigation. I want to know everybody. Oh, man. The kids.
I don't even want to be in office, but if King gets in there, you already know we got the whole.
I'm throwing everybody into jail. Yeah. Speaking of Coinbase, you love how these stories just roll off each other, huh? Is that not a coincidence?
Every time.
Coinbase hires former AWS and Microsoft employee Tim Wagner as the new VP of engineering. What's going on over at Coinbase and this new hire? Why is this important?
So the new VP of engineering, Timmy Wagner, he has experience with Amazon Web Services and Microsoft. So he is one of those people. He is in that group of people who have left mainstream companies that have made billions and have come over to the crypto space. We've seen people. I
wonder why he would do that.
Exactly. Coinbase is grabbing people from Goldman Sachs, from JP Morgan,
Facebook,
TD Ameritrade. Go down the list. They are taking employees from everywhere. So
that's how to make sure you can't be. That's how you make sure you're insulated and there'll be no competition. It's like, hey, y'all sure y'all want to? All right.
Well, let me call my buddy over here and then let's get this going. But just a side note, if you're one of those people who work in a mainstream, if you work for a bank, if you work for an accounting firm or for a law firm, you can switch over to the crypto world pretty seamlessly and use your experience in order to impact a community that is still growing. It's still at the beginning. So Coinbase is a shining example of that. They brought in Tim Wagner. He will be responsible for hiring the engineers at all of their locations, San Francisco, New York, Chicago. So his role was basically to find talent for the long term for Coinbase and to bring in new engineers. And whenever they add new coins to the site, they will be doing the brunt of the work in order to get that going. You know, coins like 0x and BAT have been rumored. So I will say that connections between him and Amazon may come to fruition later with the ability to add Bitcoin payments. But we'll see, because you know, a lot of this stuff is just good for headlines. They used to work somewhere and now they work somewhere else. If you just look at it that way, but it could have implications in the future. So Timmy Wagner, we'll see what he does as VP of Engineering.
There you go. Shout out Boris Jefferson. Boris said you have had this channel for over a year and you still can only gather 24 people to watch you. Listen, YouTube shadow ban is real, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Please hit that like and share, people. Get this algorithm popping.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, right, Boris? We know, too. But, look, we're more into just providing information.
Absolutely.
You know, we grow organically. We grow. It's not anything we've been pressed to have to get big. So
yeah. We are not Instagram models.
Yeah.
We don't care that much about
Well, hold on. I did just put Instagram pic up. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we don't go too crazy on it. But, yeah, tell your friends and let's get this up to 30 by next week.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Boris.
Jizzy Max said Coinbase, no, Robinhood is coming up quick. They have to stay ahead. Exactly.
Competition is great.
It's getting crazy. And then S1 Dubs, you're right. Decentralized exchanges have to get going because, yeah, using Coinbase will become very dangerous. So, all right. Speaking of someone who worked at, Amazon and mining, all that, Bitcoin mining giant Bitmain is going to invest $500 million in Texas data and mining facility. We saw the story come out yesterday. They didn't put the dollar tag with it, though. They just said Bitmain was going to move to Texas, which, of course, in itself isn't a big story because all these companies are going to move everywhere.
Everybody's going everywhere.
Everybody's going. But when you're talking about a $500 million blockchain data center and mining facility that they're also going to put up together on that expansion, I mean, that's huge. It's huge as far as what it's going to bring to the Texas market. Now, to be specific, that $500 million blockchain data center, $490 million of that could be spent on equipment. We don't know. Yeah. So I don't want to, Texas people to get giddy, like, hey, we're all going to have jobs because you probably won't. Yeah. They'll probably import a lot of people that know what they're doing already because I don't want to speak on Texas, but off the top of my head, I don't know it to be a very fast-paced, technological forward state. I could be wrong.
In certain areas.
I know Austin got some stuff going,
Austin,
right?
Yep.
But Dallas has some things as well. Of course, Mark Cuban's there and everything. But in general, for people to know what to do when it comes to mining and all that, I don't know. But if it is, I mean, this is definitely going to be pretty big. It's going to be a place where people can get jobs and at least expand what they know about mining. That might be the mining state in the United States. We don't know. So, pretty cool story.
Oh yeah, and it's supposed to create over 400 jobs.
Okay, so there are 400
like
jobs.
King already said, 300 of them may be from people outside of the country or outside of Texas. They bring them in. It's like, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. I mean, it's just one of those industries where it's hard to find talent, and then the people who do have the talent are probably too rich to care, so they're not really in a rush to go work for somebody. Right. However, Bitmain, I think if they can provide people who want to work with them with equity in their company, I think that would be a huge plus to bring in great talent. I'm sure they already have their plans in place in order to get it going. However, they do need people who aren't technically proficient. So you'll have management, you'll have sales associates, some people in finance, some people doing just pure research.
Can we? That's research analysts are going. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things in the market.
Yep.
Because right now, I mean, people, you got to understand. Literally, this time last year, we may have been dealing with 800 tokens tops. Maybe. Maybe, and that's a high number.
Yeah.
This year, I think they said we're at like 1,600 already.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And of course, like we always say, about 98% of these are going to be duds. But still, you don't want to miss out on those 2% that aren't. No. And the only way not to miss out is to have an army of research analysts out there digging through papers, going to go fly to visit these companies, going to go speak to these people face to face to see if they actually know what they're talking about. So I think that's going to be a huge market, just straight up analysts, associates, research, all that.
Yeah, you can make a pretty good penny being a research analyst in the traditional stock market.
Right. So doing it right now,
doing it right now for crypto, the knowledge you will get, even if you are not in the crypto community at all, you haven't bought any Bitcoin.
Right.
If you research enough and you have enough of that insight, you are already ahead of 90% of the world, honestly. Just having that background knowledge, and you can transition into a research role for a company like Bitmain or a company down the road because they need them, honestly.
And just a quick business tip for anybody thinking about going in that direction: make sure you set up a contract to where whether you get you get a salary or whatever hourly. I don't know how they're going to do it, but make sure you have something in there for every win you bring. You get a percentage of that
equity.
Yeah, you got to get equity. So if you show them the next, you tell them about Ripple before it hits and it pops. Hey, go ahead and give me a little Christmas bonus early, you know? Exactly. Like, I didn't give you, so you got to make sure you put in contract.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Jizzy Mac, John Siebert, everybody who just said what they said. 24 Warriors, though, bro. That is true. Quality over quantity. Yep. Crypto Q said you'd rather have 24 warriors than 240 uninformed sheep. Absolutely. Of course. You know how I go.
Absolutely.
That is right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And, a lot of people at work.
Yeah. Gervais. Yeah, I forgot we do it like just doing work day. Gervais Wright said they are trying to lure big tech to Texas. Yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Texas is constantly trying to lure big tech firms to change their, I guess, way of thinking, because they have sent out a lot of. They are the state that sent out the most cease and desist letters to these companies like BitConnect.
We don't want no competition in here.
Yeah, like get out of here, brother. These scams got to go. So it is good to see Bitmain moving there and expanding worldwide from a business standpoint.
All right, so we have to talk about this story because it has a very misleading essence to it. Yeah. West Virginia to offer blockchain voting statewide in midterm elections.
Blockchain.
Basically, West Virginia came out and said, hey, we want to test this new mobile voting app to all the state's 55 counties so that military personnel stationed abroad can more easily cast their ballots in midterm elections. Something I'm actually against because I've been deployed and stationed abroad, and my thing, and trust me, if you're deployed or stationed abroad and you know what's going on locally, you are not doing your job right, to me personally. Like, it's so much going on wherever you're at in that theater you need to be focused on. But it is cool that at least they're giving them a chance to vote on something they haven't been keeping track of. So I guess when they get home, like everybody else, when they get home, they have something to look forward to. But no, they're basically saying that, hey, they have this blockchain-like app that they're going to deploy. That's funny they use the word. They're going to deploy this app to allow deployed military personnel to vote on it. Now, what's going on with this app? Okay, is it a blockchain app? You know, because we know that blockchains are actually just big databases that are centralized. What is this?
Yeah, well, the problem with this voting system is, for one, this could be a security nightmare. Reading through a few different security experts who have been in the space 20, 30 years, they can identify things that could happen, what could be wrong. Some of the things that are wrong is that the database is not SSL locked and that it is pretty old. I think it's based on like an 09 model, and the fact that you have different people's phone security is not secure, so you could have something there where their actual votes could be changed in the process of being sent to whatever database they've established. So there are a lot of security flaws that may go along with this blockchain voting thing. However, what I've always said is, no matter what type of technology comes out, if it's innovative, it'll struggle at first, but somebody will build on it and fix it. It is in West Virginia, so it is one of the states that, I feel like a pilot program will work better. You don't want to pilot it in New York or California. West Virginia is probably a better place to do it, and midterms are better to do it, because after midterms, if it works, cool. You can just build on what works. If it doesn't, you got 2 years before the general elections to get the technology up to date. So it is kind of blockchainish, but it is more of a fast database, I would say, with blockchain tendencies. It's so not
that's,
exactly
that's important to know, because it's one of those things. This is a blockchain stimulus package all over again. It's like, hey, look at us. This is what we're doing. Yep. But again, I would love to see it if it could work. If it does work, then as you always say, it'll be one of those things where other companies or states look at it and say, okay, so we actually can do voting on the blockchain and have it secure and all that.
But just mobile voting itself to me is great, because think about all the people who have phones.
Let's vote on everything too.
Vote on everything.
Let's not leave it to representatives. I want to vote on every. Do we need to fix this road? How much money needs to go into it? When do we need to do it by? All of those can be put on the app now, people.
They really can. And the security
they don't want it to happen.
They don't want it to happen. But the security aspect of it is the biggest problem. And once that gets fixed, I'm sure there'll be a lot of InfoSec people who work on this type of voting app. Then nobody will have an excuse to not vote. Everybody, you don't have to send in paper ballots. That is one of the things I questioned in this article. Some guy was trying to convince people that the paper ballot voting is better than the technological way. Absolutely.
You're trying to use technology and science? Why would you want to do that?
You need to come in and write it down. Or if you have an absentee ballot, you got to mail it in 14 days before. That's such a convoluted process.
I don't even trust the paper ballots.
Yeah, come on, man.
And Crypto Q, you already know what time it is. Look, I'll tell you, people, last time I voted was It was in 2008 when I voted for someone who I had no idea what they would do to the military one day. Yeah. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I've never really voted ever.
You didn't vote?
I've never voted.
They didn't get you at state. But they got me at state.
I celebrated with everybody else.
Okay, well, state was going crazy when it came.
Yeah, I was listening to Jeezy too. My president's black, my Lambo is blue. Had a good party. Didn't vote. I've never voted in my life.
That was the last year I did.
I'm pretty much a citizen of the world. I think locally.
There we go. See, that's why I stopped too, because I'm like, vote. Like, I can't vote when I'm overseas. Like, about what's going on. I had that paper, son.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight up, trigger warning. Why the 3D printed gun debate matters to crypto. All right, first I want to give a shout out to Mark Hochstein, who wrote this story. It looks like so this is the managing editor at Coinbase, so someone who should know better. Again, great story, Mark. If you haven't read this, and I haven't read this all the way through, so I'm not gonna say you need to read this article. It's great. I will say you should read it to get an idea of what's going on. I actually, it's funny this story came up too, because I saw some of the 3D printed guns. I've been doing my own due diligence on that the last 2 or 3 weeks already, because I knew some of the voting was coming up for it. I know Vice News story had a couple of good things on it where they had 2 stories, one some years ago, I believe, where they actually showed one of the guys and how he makes the 3D guns and everything that's going on with should this be legal or illegal. And then it had another one, which is like only 12, 13 minutes, which was talking about basically making your own or whatever. But and that was using more like was like steel and stuff, like manufacturing. But in general, the reason why this is important is because from my understanding, a lot of what the vote's about is should regular citizens be allowed to have these 3D printing machines in their homes, and should they be allowed to have the blueprints to actually figure out and how to do this online on the internet, open source, available to the public, or even as a private citizen, are you allowed to have the blueprints at home?
This sounds familiar,
right?
Open source software, hardware that prints out whatever you that prints out
money or guns,
and a personal responsibility to report exactly what type of CAD files you're using and whether you have a CNC machine, which is crazy because my major was actually based on this, building robots, small things, and programming it. And we thought about it back in the day, but it wasn't around, 10, 15 years ago when we were thinking about it. People were speaking of it, and now it's here. So it is one of those things where people are starting to get criminalized for their ability to create,
to be smart,
Yeah,
you want to make things more efficient and easier for the world. That's not how we play over here.
Yeah, and it sounds very familiar. Bitcoin.
So yeah, this is going to be a big story because how they decide to proceed with this, and it's going to set the precedent, or it could be used to set precedent. If they say, hey, you're not allowed to have this technology in your home, you're not allowed to print these guns, whatever, they can literally use those same arguments for cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to create your own coin. You're not allowed to create your own token out the blue. No, that's so it's one of those things where regardless, on a global scale, regardless of what they decide, it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Period. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't learned by now. The best thing, they should learn from the cannabis stuff industry, but the best thing they can do is legalize everything and tax it.
They should have learned from prohibition.
It's good, right? You want people to start dropping out here?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to happen. But again, they will try to use the same arguments if they're successful with this 3D gun printing when it comes to cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry and Bitcoin and all that. So very important thing that's going on. Might want to definitely take a peek at it. It was something else that came out before the 3D guns that they tried to use it. And here you can see what he's talking about is code speech.
Wow. We're getting to the point where software is about to be illegal.
Right.
I mean, really, if software is free speech on the internet and that is being taken away, we have much bigger problems, people.
And right here you can see this looks like let's see, who is this? Aaron Wright, an associate clinical professor of law and director of the blockchain project at Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law at Yeshiva University, said, is quoted by saying, there is a notion in the crypto community that software is unimpeachably protected by the First Amendment. That's simply not the case. Wright said, if someone develops and implements software that runs afoul of U.S. law, they could face liability. Again, when software is for the world, when did the United States law become law for the entire world, and private citizens who were just born in the U.S. who didn't vote that, hey, we shouldn't be allowed to have this software, all of a sudden had to abide by this so-called law? Totally disagree with it, but I get where he's coming from, especially as a law professor. He's just saying, hey, this is what the law is saying. This is what the government's going to try to do with the police and military if you want to go ahead and go against this law.
Yep.
Gang. All right, that's all I'm saying. Straight up, that is what it is. Like it's what it is. So again,
you can't refuse.
Right. So again, check this story out. Shout out to Mark again to actually point this out. Again, he's the managing editor, so yeah, you're supposed to point this out. So very good job on your part. But it's a really good story. I would say take a peek into it. Yep.
Yeah. I can see why people would be afraid. Print your own money, print your own guns. What do you need government?
I was say, why do you need government?
It's over. So.
Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see. Yeah. Like S1 Dub said, you can't stop it. It definitely won't be stopped.
Yeah.
All right, and last but not least, as we talk about these 3D guns and these, science fiction type of things, I thought this story was also huge. A pro crypto gamer hid free Bitcoin in No Man's Sky. It looks like a pair of planets on the No Man's Sky action survival game are hiding 0.004 Bitcoin or 0.004 Satoshis. According to Hacker Noon, players can claim the Bitcoin by finding the corresponding communication stations in the game. So it's basically a game, I believe it's a computer game. I'm not sure, I didn't do all the homework on it. But basically is Bitcoin hidden on the game that you can claim and actually use in the real world. If you remember about a week or two, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, we mentioned the movie Ready Player One.
Yep.
If you haven't seen it, this is what Ready Player One is about. Is when people are in this, it's like Fortnite, but it's virtual reality.
Yeah.
You're in this virtual world. You do whatever you want. You can be your own person. You have pay for all this stuff using real money. But now this is the big thing that Ready Player One kind of focuses in on, is that you can actually win rewards in the virtual world and take it back over to the real world and use it.
That's tight.
That is huge, people.
That is huge, man.
That is huge. If you can play a video game and win something that's considered real value in the real world and take it to go buy groceries, to go get gas, to go start a company with, I mean, we're looking at something big now. So
we've kind of started that.
We kind of,
because there are people getting paid to play video games right now, not necessarily artificial intelligence or virtual reality games yet. However, the tokens that are used for some of these games, they could be pushed right over into cryptocurrency, and literally what you do in the virtual world pays you or can pay your electricity bill, can pay for your
if you can use
your food bill.
What's the 2K ones called?
Yeah, the 2K coins. I forget what they call.
What if you could use those and actually go to Foot Locker and Foot Action and buy some new J's?
Hey, all your girlfriends wouldn't be complaining about you playing 2K too much. You'd be like,
you ain't playing enough.
I'm in here working.
Why you not on the tournament mode this week? Get back in there.
Yeah, exactly. Are you quitting on a street ball game? You better get back in there. Baby needs some new shoes.
But I mean, people, Jamal J, you're right. Internet of Things is rising. I mean, VC tokens. Thanks more. This is truly going to be amazing, people. This is the first wave of it as we're seeing now. But I mean, you can only imagine in the future if what if you're able to mine crypto while you're playing the game?
Somebody just said it.
Really?
Bitcoin
I didn't
and
see
Minecraft.
it. There we go. John Siebert. All right,
yeah. I was gonna say, I'm sure that's one of those things, because you have to get the same type of graphics cards for big gaming like Minecraft or some of these other ones.
That is true. Yeah.
So why not use some of that to that's what a lot of gamers did early on. A lot of gamers just switched their software in order to mine instead of using it for other reasons, and they allocated that software, allocated that electricity, was able to create money, so to say, and they were getting paid to play video games. So
I am truly excited about this story. Like, personally, as a gamer myself, of course you can't do it as much, but grew up definitely being a gamer. I mean, it's one of those things where, can you imagine we had this as kids? Like this, I think this is an amazing story because it goes against everything. I can't speak for everybody. I know my parents thought games were just like a serious waste of time and all that.
Everybody's parents.
Right. You know what I mean? People's parents just like thought we were just throwing our life away, and you're the guy on the couch not doing nothing. But it's like, oh, well, now you're about to be able to start earning some money in these games.
Man.
Huge.
Yep.
As the president would say, huge.
As soon as the incentives go up, so does adoption rate.
There we go. All right, what are we doing for the free Satoshis today?
Oh, yeah. So for our free Satoshis today, we discussed 3D guns being printed in Bitcoin. I want to know, as a community, do you think that the same rules that apply to 3D printed guns will be used for Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies as far as software goes? Let us know what you think. Let us know in the future if you think it will affect the price or affect the adoption rate, and we will send you those free Satoshis.
All right. As always, thanks for watching, people. Make sure you smash that like and share button.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So real quick, Sean Jackson said that we see the assassination tip on Venezuelan president.
Oh, yeah.
We did see it. I didn't read too much into it. Like I didn't do the homework on it. Did you?
Kind of. I saw.
I figured CIA. Yeah, there we go. See, I just figured CIA. Whenever it's an assassination tip on somebody we don't like, same people keep doing it every year, like every decade. We keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so
saw a little bit about it, but we'll have to look more into that story and how it applies to the crypto world because they do have their own cryptocurrency. So
that is true. That might be the cause.
Hey, man.
Y'all think y'all gonna start your own money?
Oh man,
that's what happened to Gaddafi. Also, World CryptoCon people will be there from October 31st, November 2nd. Right above us, you can see that little code that's going across KBRE 250 gives you a $250 discount on the general admission ticket. So if you're interested in going, you might want to hop on that early. I think it's like already 1,000 people going or something. It's going to be crazy. Hopefully, we'll see you there.
Absolutely.
All right. Other than that, have a great Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers.